To go on instant anthology together for years and years. What will happen is once you make the instant anthology, sometimes it goes up and makes more copies so that everyone gets home with something to create tonight, like creating right now, like listening to Chip Ross.
And unfortunately, those days are over.
That's all right. It's a nice story.
Those days are over. So who is to blame?
Yeah.
I feel no shame when you look at me. When I look at you, I feel no shame. I see you, you see me. I feel no shame when you look away. When I look away, I feel no shame. When we stare at each other, I feel emptiness. Emptiness shames me to feel. Emptiness is to blame.
I think we still have the right height here.
Yeah, it's like
I'll catch it while it's still low.
That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's organization. That's what
There you go. If I ever wrote a slam poem, this was it, but I don't have it memorized completely yet. It's called Nobody and Nothing. It's in 3 parts. The first is called The Mother of All Curses. You ain't nothing, and you'll never be nothing. To many, this may seem to be the mother of all curses, to damn someone to nothingness. But if you study any of the Eastern religions, life begins and ends at nothing. A baby's brain is a blank slate, and death erases that slate again. Between these bookends, a person tries to gain in wealth and knowledge, and all an illusion by Buddhist beliefs. Their greatest teachers begins by learning how to become nothing and teach how to embrace nothingness. So, if someone declares, I am now and always will be nothing, without even trying, I have already achieved what others spend a lifetime learning. Now I can really achieve anything.
Yeah.
And the second is called Turning It Inside Out. You ain't nothing, and you'll never be nothing. My first response to this parental stunting of all my ambitions was to turn it into a blessing in my mind by taking the rules of grammar and math I had learned for so far. As in English, a double negative is forbidden, simply because it cancels each other out, making the statement affirmative, opposite of its intention. Just as in math, multiples of negative numbers by a negative number, and if you get a positive result. So in reality, Long was saying I was certainly not nothing and could never be so. I knew better than to correct my elders, so I often could not suppress a smile and brimmed with a silent gratitude for the moment of grace set over my future. And third is From Trash to Treasure. You ain't nothing and you'll never be nothing. It used to really tear me down when this was yelled at me, until I heard the saying of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. We have done so much with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything with nothing. So this person who I thought was trying their best to trash me was actually showing great faith in my ability.
Yeah. You've heard this one, but I thought that I was made of feathers. I found the truth said it was lead. I thought that I would live forever till I found my senses told me I was dead. Now stories feel like moonbeams on my shoulder, and I scream out, please help me in the night. No one's there. I'm calling my pillow, but I keep thinking things will be alright. Now you might say there really is no hope for me, but all I do is try and sing out loud. And if I find there's really someone listening, then I will rush outside to that crowd. And I don't mind if time leaves me alone, and I hope to believe it was really true. If there's no hope, then find me hoping. If nothing's moving, find me something to move. I have no hope beyond that hope. I have no dream beyond that dreaming man. So in this voyage lies intrinsic meaning. And when I travel, I find out where I am. Now all these words don't mean much to you. And you think that poems are simply lies. Just walk out there on that highway. Just walk out there tonight. And you might find you just might be surprised.
Back one. All right, keep it up there, buddy. Oh, move over, Hendrix. Yeah.
Let's see. When I was a kid, most of my poems are about kids because I really liked being a kid. My best friend was Melvin, and my parents kept asking me about Melvin and saying, "Bring Melvin home sometime." And I said to Melvin, I said, "Hey Melvin, my parents said you should come over." So he came over one day and my dad shook hands with him real nice, and my mom frowned at him. That meant a lot to me because my mom was sort of like the center of the universe. And when Melvin finally went home and he ate some good food at my house, my dad said, "Your mom wants to talk to you." So I went back to Mom's room and she was putting something good smelling on. And her hair was in some kind of plastic thing. And she said, "You know, we told you that everybody's the same. We told you that everybody's equal, but we just can't have you bringing black kids home." So I got a little bit mad at my mom, and that just didn't happen very often. It wasn't allowed back in the 60s. You don't get mad at your mom. But I said, "Mom, what about all that stuff you said about everybody being equal? You just now said everybody's equal." But she said, You can't get what you want if you hang around with the wrong people." And so I said, "I think I might not get what I want, but I'm going to keep trying to get what I want." Me and Melvin.
Yeah.
This is a poem wrote in 2012 when I did go down the Texas coastline, and it is about the guy called Hugh. Like Muriel in Walking in Memphis, who's a real person. I saw him from my car, sat on a campus step, playing his guitar. I stopped to make my way. I wanted to hear him play. I said, I'm Trevor. He said, I'm Hugh. He shook my hand, saying, sit a spell, and let me sing for you. First, he told me about his life. A life of pain, a life of strife, addiction, prison, dereliction. Yet, not thinking it odd, when he heard the voice of God saying, the task for you I bring. Play the guitar, write songs, then go out and sing. On the street for those you meet, whether they stop or walk by, go, give it a try. So learn the guitar he did, and doing as he was bid, he said, I sang to the people, whether they stopped or passed through. I sang to them all, saying, this song is for you. A dedication to his mother, after she passed on. A song he wrote in prison, about two ducks and a swan. He sang about walking alone, to a future unknown, to a place called heaven, where his name is carved in stone. Our time together had to end, but I felt I found a friend. And if we meet in heaven, I'll shake his hand with glee and say, pick up your guitar here and sing again for me.
This Birdman 313 came all the way from Houston because there ain't no poetry in Houston. They're all down
One poet in Houston.
Yeah,
Tomorrow, I'm
typical
gonna
quiet.
tell you something what I found out when I was in San Francisco.
Okay.
There's poets in San Francisco?
Yeah, but you're
This poem I'm gonna read. This is how I found out my ex-wife was trolling me.
Oh!
With nothing, I didn't say nothing bad.
Right.
She just asked me which pair of eyes caught.
Okay.
And still, I don't understand how she got that.
Okay.
Maybe somebody in here will understand.
Maybe they will.
It's called 1,000 Eyes. The night has 1,000 eyes. Sometimes it has 1,002. These two are the ones that you don't see, but they see your every move. To create your own demons that only you can chase away. Trying to free the mind that has been bound by chains. Eyes appear from up above, twinkling at night. The universe, where the stars, planets, and meteors roam, have night eyes in the dark that see all that happens. All the eyes fade at the crack of dawn. The night has 1,000 eyes, and sometimes 1,002.
Yeah.
Come on, young people. Y'all gotta fix the world, man. We're waiting on you. You're the ones who are in charge. After all the shootings, y'all took over, man.
Please play me. Play me as Yo-Yo Ma plays the Stradivarius.
Yeah.
As Oopsie plays the bass. As BB plays Lucille. You walk into the room knowing the assembled are here to adore you. They come to hear your song, see your dance, revel in the view that is you. Lavish is the life that vicariously your audience lives through and moves to worship you. Yet I cannot move. Static, soundless, tacit, needing you to release the song within me. Unwittingly you strum my emotions, gliding metaphorical fingers over my libido, picking, plucking, plunking my heartstrings, sending vibrations throughout my body, paralyzing me mid-sentence. You stop my lyric of, how do you do? Simply with your handshake and hello. I stumble for words, harmonies, anything to sing my feelings for you. But my silence is maddening, and just before sanity returns, you gain a new eye contact. Someone who requires no introduction. Smiling at him, you have left me even before releasing my hand, and I am crushed. You have no idea the effects of your siren song, your addictive touch, your wistful scent, all lust notes resonating in the chords of a single strum of your fingers upon me. You leave me silent, voiceless, wanting you to play me, experiment on me, create new sound songs through me, new jazz bebops, intricate syncopated melodies of lust and passion, create symphonies of desire and pain on me, in me. Let me live through the notes of your song, give birth to me with the life of your breath that flows across your lips, and then command me to die at the end of your crescendo. How can you do this to me and not know? You release my hand, move across the room, laughing playfully. You approach your new audience, naive in the knowledge that I stand, gazing, wantingly wavering, wondering if for me there will ever be a second verse with you.
So this is a series of 5 haikus that I won actually the first place in the Adult Haiku Deathmatch at the 25th Annual Austin Poetry Festival. Yeah, 2 years ago. So I'm going to read each haiku twice. Delicious laugh pressed between our bodies embraced, old desire effaced. Delicious laugh pressed between our bodies embraced, old desire effaced. Hear it ticking, the sound it makes an alarm, my time to explode. Hear it ticking, the sound it makes an alarm, my time to explode. Have bipolar wife, her mood shimmy, her eyes roll, realize that there are more. Have bipolar wife, her mood shimmy, her eyes roll, realize there are more. Novelty of life is living each day with her, knowing tomorrow. The novelty of life is living each day with her, knowing tomorrow. Do you feel the page each time you read poetry? No taste poetry. Do you feel the page each time you read poetry? No taste poetry.
The youth of America! Awesome! Her first poetry thing, man! Woo!
This is something I wrote when I was applying to colleges just last October. And I think it's something that I really struggled with as well, because I always have a sort of conclusion, and this is something I'm still trying to figure out. So, wanted, a teenage girl who has her shit together, 5'7", brunette, and looks just like me, but where is she? Will she be there in sickness, during long nights in the hospital, while my lungs fill with water, in a cold, dry room? Will she be there in health, in my smile on New Year's Eve, blowing out the candles, hopeful for another year. Will she be there in the mirror? Might be a time when I look at my reflection and just know I found her. Or she might be in my freckles from my years of sunshine, or maybe in my grandmother's eyes, her blue eyes that are so unlike my brown, but she insists are identical. Will she be in the lost pages of my past journals under my bed? Each page having the feeling of Braille. Though not blind, I can tell you what's on every page, but maybe she's between the lines. Will she be there during long nights of drowning in what my future could entail? Maybe I'm supposed to choose her the way I choose a school, the way I choose what seems like the beginning of the end, or maybe she's there pushing me on, in that vision of finally making it. Will she be there in a time of strength, or a need for it, when someone deserves to be stood up for, when I deserve to be? When it's been a long night and I sound completely crazy asking for a sign from something I may or may not even believe in. But is she already here reading this, or have I already met her and just let her slip between my fingers? Or maybe she's the one that's lost looking for me. So who will she be? And please, where will she find me?
Wow.
Woo! We know where you are. All the people this height, please line up.
Is that a short joke?
Oh,
It could be verse.
oh.
It's called A Fit of Rage. I wrote this, it was an advertisement in one of these online things about they're looking for a song for a movie, and so I just wrote this down. But anyway, it's called A Fit of Rage. In a fit of rage, he pulled the gun's trigger. He stuck and twisted that knife deep down inside her. He swung a baseball bat and smashed his head. And he didn't even stop, even after they were dead. And no one suspected his outburst. It was hard to gauge, because it was all in a fit of rage. Betrayed and rejected, he was so full of hate. Failure led to guilt. His tortured mind sealed his fate. He was about to go crazy when his eyes saw a Bible. And he kicked it on the ground while growling all the while. And then it opened up to a wrinkled page as he picked it up in a fit of rage. Well, he found himself reading how Christ was double-crossed, how he was crucified but living, how he still saves the lost. Next thing you know, he's down upon his knees. Let's see. Begging for forgiveness. And God hears his pleas. Then he starts to smile like a wise old sage as the devil starts screaming in a fit of rage. Well, he finally got caught for killing them both there. So they strapped his hands and feet down in that electric chair. An angry crowd gathered, yelling for his death. But he was praising Jesus until his final breath. And then they pulled the switch on Mr. Beige. And as his body was frying, justice took the stage. And then his spirit flew from his earthly cage. He was free at last from every fit of rage.
Wow.
Yeah. Christine M. Jackson.
Today I met another mystic, and yes, I do mean another. And we talked of my fate over these consequential images laid out by Italian hands more than 600 years ago. And when I call her a shaman, or mystic, all of these things, I don't mean that she had a headdress or golden feathers or stars in her eyes, but there were definitely stars in her heart. I mean someone down to earth with dark hair and soulful eyes who just wanted to share a moment over a cup of tea and cigarettes and images from centuries ago. First was laid the Ace of Cups. Sorry, it was the Ace of Hearts, even more meaningful to me, as this meant a new start, something passionate, maybe love, and maybe not. And after that came a card of seclusion, a man standing there alone, and it wasn't the hermit, so it couldn't have been a man, it was me, standing there, all alone. And after that, another card of seclusion with cups spilled behind me, all on the floor, things that I left behind, and it goes on to speak of solitude and love and coins as well, so riches and hearts, but nothing about a relationship. And things can still be rich, and I wonder, and is it about love? Is it about reuniting with my family? Is it possibly about friends that I have slowly cut away, even though they're still on the fray of my existence? And I wonder, and I think, and Father's too distant, and these distant friends are too close, and maybe there's something that I'm not quite seeing, maybe I'm chasing something else of a ghost. And I start to wonder, and I start to see, and I see the cups line up with the world and all these things that are supporting me with these coins growing out of the ground, as this one card represents toil and trouble, but getting you further and getting you abound. And then it occurs to me that the solitude is a choice that I've made, and I didn't even know it at the time. You see, I've been wondering, had I cut myself off from love, or love cut itself off from me? The cards made it clear that it was a choice, and some things just aren't quite yet meant to be. All of the cups spilled behind me, all of the hearts sitting full upon the page. They're there and they're waiting, and I'm creating, and they're growing in age. But it's not quite time for these things meant to be. It's not quite time for me to change the things in front of me. And so it's good that I toil, that I go into work instead of going upon numerous dates with some guys I might call a jerk. And it's good that I toil and that I wait on love, and it's good that my heart is open and that I'm waiting for something from above. And at the same time, there's a price to be paid. And while solitude can be beautiful, there's pain accompanying the parade. When all you have is your work, yes, you might have dollars, you might have art, and there's a little piece that you can choose to feel is missing from your heart. And the whole message from the thing which I wasn't sure of until now, after these questions spun in my head, is, did I cut myself off from love, or did love cut itself off from me? Am I closed off to all possibilities, or am I merely protecting myself, waiting, wrapped in a shell, just waiting to break? And I think the answer came that it's a choice that I made, and I put love on the shelf, and I will let it wait as I toil, as I build, as these pentacles grow. And it's not love that I'm after, it's a piece of me that I want to know.
Is it not cruel to ask that love should play your fool? Or place your faith in foolish men, for I have fallen yet again. Are we not wise to scout for our advantage, not wait for weak or blind, or take precautions for a rainy day? Slim, solid knife for us, cuts between the bone face, cuts between what we say we are and what we really are. One eye, two eyes from the sun become one as no other does. It is good to be alone. 2 by 2 arc bound, not evening is a dream within our present imaginations. To link arm to arm in common dreams, in ones and twos and millions. Until then I will dream serene oceans.
Photosynthesis! Man, I'm getting a different one of these.
So this is super short, but it's something I wrote like almost a year ago. It was like the first time I'd really gotten to enjoy being outside. during a really difficult time of my life. Ocean salt smell melted my tears, a hodgepodge of salt water and cigarette smoke as the wind slapped my face, making the pages of my notebook flap. The sand crunches under my shoes, smooth enough to be paper. As I move towards the water, a boy leans down to examine a rock. The guttural bark of a jog, a juxtaposing backdrop, and back by the grass, a blonde cherub girl in a sagging bathing suit peers down at me, jotting jibber jabber. Smiles, then skips away.
Quiet poets, what's going on?
She is coming.
Another short one. Is a short person.
No, we're just used to all your stuff being about sex.
What do you should mention that?
Oh boy!
Okay. A little bit of erotica. You fed me oranges. On a long day of lovemaking, you fed me orange sections in a morning break. They were commas between two phrases of a love poem. Now I am floating on your citrus breath. I slake my thirst on your orange juicy kisses, giving that tangy taste to all our fluids. As you press your navel-scented prints into my flesh, marking your territory, you massage my skin, licking your fingertips the way readers thumb through a book, and tongue the corners, dog-earing so many places you wish to return to later for a deeper understanding. Now, when I pass a fruit stand, how am I supposed to hide my excitement?
Mine too. I'm not gonna be able to hide my excitement next time I go by a fruit stand either. I'm going straight to a fruit stand after this.
It's amazing to me how often the various poems that we hear remind us of poems that we've written that may have a completely different point of view. The poem that you talked about, walking out into the highway. This is one about an incident that really happened. It's called Imagination. Friday evening, I am speeding, and I do mean speeding, south on the interstate. The sunset on my right is pink and gold and purple with a disappearing slice of sky blue. With a glance, I take in all the colors woven into the fabric of the setting sun sky.